Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. This is a modified sketch which I got by studying some YouTube videos on how to create an array. And the sample tutorial showed the blinking of LEDs through setting up an array. And I don't fully understand what's taking place in the code, so I'll be methodical and I'll just go through each step. So as a data type, there's an LED array which is set up, and the array is set up because there's these square brackets which indicate the index number, which has actually been left blank. A number could have been added here, but it's not. So then all of the values that are put into this array, or the content of the array, are set out here: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so that's the content of this array. And then there's a delay time which has been defined. Now this isn't code I came up with, this is someone else's code. And the way it's set up here, to my eyes, it appears that in the void setup, a for loop happens, pretty standard, where I is set to 0. When I is less than 10, I guess it stays in the loop, and each time it goes through the loop, 1 is added to the count. And so it's kind of cycling through because it's a for loop. But what's a little strange to me is that a for loop has been used to declare the pin mode of the different pins on the Arduino as outputs, which is a strange thing to do. It seems more logical or natural to, I guess, be more explicit in declaring your pinouts on your Arduino as outputs. But to my eyes, it looks like it cycles through this for loop each time declaring this range of numbers as an output. I might be misunderstood in how I've come to understand this. The strange thing is I is within these square brackets, but I is also the counter in this for loop. So my current understanding of this, which might actually be wrong, is that as it cycles through this for loop, every one of these numbers within the array, which actually ends up corresponding to pinouts on the Arduino, is assigned as an output. But I might have it wrong. When I tried experimenting with these numbers, adding 12 or 11, 12, it didn't make the pinouts on the Arduino up to 11 and 12 as outputs. So it seems like only the pinouts that match numbers in the array became outputs. And then I have a for loop within a for loop, which I don't know if it's bad practice, but I did that. And so this for loop cycles through 8 times, and each time a different LED pinout or pinout attached to an LED on the Arduino is flashed 3 times each. That's what this other for loop is.
Alright, well, I actually adjusted the delay time to 90 milliseconds from the code. But you can see that it's cycling through pins 2 to 9, which were all the values defined in the array. One unusual thing is that there seems to be a mysterious delay between pin 2 and pin 3 delay, and then it goes through. So there's a bit of a pause between the first and second LED, or pin 2 and 3. And the delay happens after this one. Delay, and then it goes through. I don't know why that's happening. I can't figure that out. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but I'd just like to demonstrate what happens if I take the jumper lead from pin 2 and put it into pin 1. Well, pin 1 seems to be set as an output, but it's not blinking. So I can only assume that when the code, well, the pin mode within the code only assigned outputs to the values defined in the array, so it's not blinking other output pins. I don't completely understand a few of the things I've already addressed, so maybe I'll understand it as time goes on.
Originally, I had watched this video on using arrays by Core Electronics, and he's got a
really handy.
A Blink sketch set up. I went to his website and got the exact code, so here it is here. I won't try and explain it. I can maybe pause the screen. But I will verify and upload this in to my own breadboard setup to demonstrate I pretty much replicated this.